Hey, I'm going to do a review of the Canyon Spectral ON CF8. Picked this bike up about 2 weeks ago. Came in, I guess, last Wednesday, about 4 days ago. Got about 36 miles on the bike so far, and I'm going to try to give you a real good, honest opinion of this bike. So to give you a bit of background, I am coming off of intense primer, 29er pedal bike, had Trek Remedies and intense 951s and several bikes. Was kind of trying to stay away from e-bikes initially, but a friend of mine lent me a transition repeater for about a week. Great bike, had about 170 on the front and 160 on the back. This has got 160 on the front and 155 on the back. That bike had the EP8 motor, the original motor. This has the 801, and I'll talk a little bit about that in a second. But ultimately, that bike was incredible. I took it on some pretty rough rides, including one up in Davis, West Virginia, with a lot of technical climbs. The bike performed great. The motor was fine, but I wasn't really able to pick my lines through these heavy rocks the way that I wanted to do it. I was more plowing through things, and having, I guess, that extra suspension was extremely helpful, and had a fantastic time on the bike, and it made me want to buy one. So I started doing research. I did also ride a friend's Replay, which is their lighter weight bike, the transition bike, but it's got a 160 nanometer motor versus the 185. The bike was fun. And there's a lot of light bikes in the 150, 160 nanometer, and those are great, but in the end, I wanted something that could really kind of climb some big hills and do some incredible descents as well. The other bikes are more almost like a cross country, and I'd rather just stick with the pedal bike at that point. So I started looking for the larger motor. Obviously, the Boss CX is incredible. Avinox, incredible motor. Would have loved to have had those, but I didn't want to spend $10,000 on my first e-bike. So found this one with Canyon. I have some experience with Canyon. I have a Canyon road bike here, the Endurace. Again, incredible price, the highest end components. And that's the thing I liked as I started looking at Canyon over pivots and even the Intense Tracer. It comes with the Fox 38 up front, 160, an incredible fork, very plush, very stiff. It's got a 2.5 Maxxis wheel up front, so still plenty to pound through, plenty to do great downhills. The other thing I liked, it has the DT Swiss wheels, and these are mountain bike specific wheels and hubs. So there was the CF7 available for $500 or $600 less, but this has probably got $2,000 worth of component upgrades, and that's what I really wanted. It's got the Fox Performance Float here. Again, they're saying it's 155 and 160 up front. The other nice thing with the Fox is you can actually upgrade this damper to the X2 damper, and I'll probably do that in maybe a year or two, after I service the fork a couple times. But so got the bike, really enjoyed the extra power this one has, even over the older EP8. So the EP801, I did the firmware upgrade, and I kind of moved the settings just a little bit. Shimano tries to do this natural feel with the motor, and I went up to the medium because I wanted the response, particularly if you get stalled on a big hill and you need to restart again. Having that quick response, I think, is great, and that's what Shimano did with all these firmware upgrades that they did, and the eTune application. So really easy to work with. Bluetooth here. What was neat is it synced with my Phoenix watch immediately. It is a mullet setup, but it's got a 2.6 in the rear, and it really just performs well. So the thing with the Transition has a longer wheelbase, 1.2 inches longer in the wheelbase, and 1.5 degrees more slack in the front. So having less slack gives you that maneuverability. So I've been able to kind of really pick my lines a little more. Yesterday we rode an incredibly tight trail in Maryland along Seneca Creek, and having that more maneuverability, I think, was important to staying on trail. These bikes are awfully powerful, and keeping them on trail is a smart thing to do. It's got 3 different modes on the motor. You've got your eco mode, which is fine on most trails as you start to go up hills. I found really the trail mode on the bike to be the one that I spend most of my time in. The boost mode, I really only go there if I have to climb a big hill. If you were in boost mode on a tight trail, it would probably throw you off the trail. The trail is incredible. It's where I spend most of my time. Eco, particularly tighter, flatter trails. 800 watt-hour battery. So the battery on most of these rides, again, I rode with my friend that had the replay, and he was running out of battery, and I was at 57%. So having that extra range, I think, is a great thing to have. But SLX components, 4-piston brakes, 203 millimeter rotors. Just a great bike. I think if you're looking for a bike and you don't want to spend a fortune and you're just getting into the sport, this Canyon Spectral is a great bike. Performs really well. It's probably 22 pounds more than this, but it still really performs well. It's got all the battery and the weight is in the lower center, so it really just maneuvers well and turns well. You can really lay the bike into the turns. It's got a good dropper seat post, cable operated, but at this price range, I paid about $4,200 before tax. And really, I think if you're looking to get into the sport and you want a bike that's really nimble and performs well, it's got a great motor, this is the bike for you. So hope you liked the video. Please smash the like button, and we'll see you soon. Thanks.